All right, so thinking about that video again, we're going to kind of talk a little bit about how that connects back to finding quality sources. And I think one of the things when I look at that video, I think about the idea of how our eyes can deceive us, and the idea that when we just kind of take someone's word for something and we don't kind of fact check it, and we don't check it against the reality of our lives, that sometimes we can get misled. So today we're going to be focusing on the idea of research concepts and how we find quality sources for research. And of all the things we talk about in this course, we start with this because I think it's probably the most unbelievably important thing that we have going on in society today. We've all heard terms like fake news or alternative facts. We know that the information that we see on social media can sometimes mislead us. And so it's really incredibly important that we learn as media consumers how to effectively vet our sources and make sure that the information that we're getting and the information that we're spreading is accurate and factual as much as possible. So you're going to be doing an activity today in a website called Versal. And so if you guys are in this assignment, there'll be a link here at the end of this little video, or you can always use the QR codes that are posted in your class notebook. So you see a couple QR codes there on that page. If you scan the one there that says Versal, that'll take you to the Versal as well. So you're going to be working through a handful of things there on the left-hand side. You'll see the titles, Why Does Research Matter? Placing Fake News in Context, so on and so forth. Those match the headings that are on your note guide. Okay, so as you're going through, make sure that you're filling out the information in your note guide along with the information that you're seeing here as you go through. Okay, so you're going to kind of see the information here. Again, these three questions here are the three questions you should be able to answer when we get to the end of the lesson. So wait till you get finished with this entire Versal and then go back and answer these three questions. How do you separate fake news from good information? What steps can you take to be a responsible consumer of information? And how do you give credit for the information you use? We'll talk a little bit more about that third bullet a little bit later. Okay, as you guys go through this activity, you're just going to navigate through. You can either do this on the left-hand side here as I'm showing you, or you can just use the next button on the bottom right. And you want to make sure that you're signed in for your Play Posit. You want to make sure that you're signed into your school Google account here so that all the information that you're filling out is saved. Okay, it'll tell you for each section what the objectives are. These are also on your study guide. It'll give you the heading here. It'll tell you how much time it's going to take and the tasks you're going to do. As you're going through and doing each activity here, keep in mind there's kind of two purposes. This Google form here is where I'm checking your answers to make sure that you're fully understanding things. And there's also the idea and the goal of making sure you have this information in your notes so that you can keep that information for later. So in many cases, you're going to see questions that you're answering in the Play Posit and answering here that are also in your notes guide. Do make sure that they're in both locations. Okay, this information is for me, and the notes guide is for you to keep that information for yourself. Okay, so make sure both of those things are filled out as you go through. Okay, you'll click through each section, you'll watch the little video, you'll answer the questions that are in the video and the ones that are below the video. And then when you get to the final thing here, this final reflection, you're going to go through here and you're going to use Connexus to actually post this. So it says final reflection. You're going to click on the Show Dropbox button on Connexus and address the following question. Why is it critical that you evaluate sources in both everyday and academic situations? And it gives you some basic information there. Your other option, if you'd like to do this in your notebook, is to just write it on the line sheet of paper and just rocketbook it to me. You can go through and do that as well. This question and all this information is also posted in your notebook at the end of the notes guide over Versal. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Click on this link. It'll take you to Versal, and you can go ahead and begin, or you can use the QR code in your notebook.